What's your takeaway from spring camp?
I think the biggest thing you take away from spring is that we're a lot further ahead than we were last year, and a lot of that's based on the experience we got coming back. So many guys have played our brand of football, and they've had success with it, albeit young guys. First-year starters on the O-line last year, some new linebackers, but this is year 2, and I think we're a little further ahead than we were coming out last year.
Talk about the play of the offense and sophomore quarterback Jordan Love during the spring.
Yeah, and I think offensively we're further ahead than we were, knowing the pace and the way we want to do things. Jordan starting, the last half of the season, and the success he had has helped us start a little ahead this spring. I think he's made some strides. Got more to go this summer, as he knows. But the offense, I think Ronquavian Tarver had a really good spring. He's really practicing harder than he's ever practiced since he's been here. Dax Raymond, Carson Terrell, the 2 tight ends inside have played well. Our slots, we've got some experience there, and so I feel good about the offense coming out. We've got to solidify the running back depth as we get going through training camp, and then we're going to have some young and new outside receivers that are going to need to come in and complement Ronquavian and Savon on the outside receiver spot.
What pleased you the most about the defense this spring?
I think the first thing we did is we kind of went back and kind of knocked it down to base fundamentals and learned how to try to play fundamental defense a lot better. I thought we tackled pretty well, played our base defense a whole lot more. We're going to obviously get into what we've done, and we'll pressure at times and this and that, but I thought we played base, solid, fundamental defense. Some of that was a little bit designed with Coach Patterson coming in as a new D coordinator and working with Coach Miley, and those guys have done a great job and will continue to do. But I think I like where we're at. We're tackling better. We got a lot more depth than we've had in a long time in the front 7 with the D-line and the linebackers, and so need to solidify some spots in the back end in training camp. But I was pleased with how we came out of spring on the defensive side.
Are there any players that really impressed you during spring camp?
I would talk just about young players right now. I thought a lot of the veterans, I mentioned Ronquavian Tarver, Gage Ferguson had a really good spring, but I would just mention some of the younger kids, being Alfred Edwards, really solidifying a role, could be a starting role at left tackle on the O-line. A young guy like David Woodward, kind of playing linebacker for the first time for a long time. Tipa Naliai, who's coming off a redshirt year last year when he sat out as an ineligible transfer. He had a really good spring at outside linebacker. Jamarcus Ingram can play safety or corner. And then all the young corners. I think that they've all shown that they're good players and need to continue to develop better technique and some experience there. But I would say mainly the young players.
What are some of the biggest question marks facing the team moving forward?
Yeah, some of the biggest question marks would probably be the ones I just mentioned. Just a few spots in the secondary, exactly who's going to be in that, 1.5 deep, if you will, maybe even 2 deep we would play. And then the outside receivers coming in on offense with the running back rotation. I can tell you who's going to play running back, but the rotation, who's going to take the lion's share of reps at the running back spot. 2 young guys, big backs, Mo Walker, Trey Miller, a brand new junior college guy, Darwin Thompson, along with Gerald Bright, who's really a full-time running back now. All 4 of those guys are kind of move themselves to the top of that, and then who's going to kind of come out of that, and the cream will rise to the top coming out of training camp.
How will you define success in 2018?
Well, there's no question. Every day we talk about coming into this building and working as hard as we can, as smart as we can, and as efficient as we can, and to compete for the Mountain West Championship. That'll always be the goal here in terms of football. We have 2 goals: graduate every senior on time, and compete for the championship in the month of November. And that's what we're aiming to do. I mean, we've been to bowl games in 6 out of the last 7 years, and that obviously defines a certain amount of success. And I don't discount that one bit, because that's what we want to be. But we want that Mountain West Championship trophy in this lob complex.
What's next for the players between now and fall camp?
Yeah, so we just finished what we call our second quarter, which is spring ball. And, the next 6 weeks during April and May is just finishing up school on the right note and doing all that from a standpoint finishing strong academically, and then a little bit of lifting and running in the next few weeks. And then guys have different Mays. A lot of them are here, some of them are gone. And then June and July, the third quarter, which I think is a key part of our success, is how we train in June and July. And we're a little different. We do things a little bit abnormal here, and our guys have really bought into it, the way we condition and train. And Coach Scholes and his staff do a great job, and that 8-week period this summer will be really key.
What's next for you and the rest of your staff between now and fall camp?
Yeah, that's kind of broke up a little bit in the next 5 weeks, starting out this coming up Monday. We'll leave and go spring recruiting for the next few weeks, and evaluating potentially some guys even late this year, but also for the 2019 class. And then we have our camps this summer in June. We're game planning the first 3 or 4 games, and then obviously looking at our Mountain West opponents before we leave, a little bit of vacation and some time to refresh and re-energize our batteries, and then back late in July getting ready for training camp.